Hello everyone, and welcome to another Inter Alia video tutorial. Today I'd like to introduce to you SAM, or Simple Audio Mixer. This is an application developed by Inter Alia whose primary role is to mix music and messages together to create a very professional, very high quality mix production, which can then in turn be used on either Inter Alia's iProMOH-SU or iPromo-One type hardware devices simply by copying it using a USB stick. So when you first open SAM, you'll notice a username and password field. The default credentials are admin. Down below you'll see an option to select music on hold service resellers only. This is a means of locking content to the device in a very secure fashion. I would highly recommend that if you are not a service reseller or you do not intend to lock content to the device, you not use this option, as if it is secured and the password is lost, you will need to contact Inter Alia for a means forward. Down below, you have an option to change your password. Now this is for the entry password here. If you didn't want to use admin anymore, you could click on that and it would give you a means to change that. When I click OK, it takes you to the main home page, which is where you're going to find a small summary of selections you've already made, as well as 3 drop-down menus. Now, the first drop-down menu is used to select what type of device you're going to be configuring. So I'm going to start with iProMOH-SU. In the Configure pull-down, you can select one of 2 media channels, as SU is a 2-channel type device. When you first get into the audio mixer page, you're going to notice a default music file is already there, which Inter Alia provides free for you to use, perhaps in the event you don't have your music production ready to go. If you don't want that, simply right click and say delete. When you're ready to add your own music, just right click on the music pane and say add files. Alternatively, you could simply drag and drop straight into the box. So I'm going to pick 3 awesome songs, but keep in mind your files need to be license free, or else the proper license must be acquired by respective country authorities. So I'm going to say open. You can see the files are now being copied to the application and at the same time converted to the .ogg file format, which will ultimately be used by the devices. Now I'm going to add some messages which will be mixed on top of that. So I'm going to select some promotional messages here. And again, you see they're copied and converted to the application. If you're not happy with the order in which they appear, simply move them into the order you want by dragging and dropping. If you want it to be more random, simply select the shuffle buttons beneath the music or the messages. Once you have the audio you want in place, you can adjust the settings in terms of how much music is played between the messages. So this is a 15-second gap between the messages where the music will play. When the messages do start, they're going to be very nicely faded into place, where the music will fade down to 20%, which is barely audible. But if you didn't want the music to be audible at all during the message playback, you could change this to 0, and you would not hear the music during that playback. You can adjust the treble and the bass, as well as the volume output for the channel. If you wanted to create a better balance, perhaps, between the messages and the music, you could use these volume percentages here. If you want to use an external music feed, such as an existing satellite feed or some other source, simply click on Enable External Music Feed. If you're happy with these settings, just say Save. If you're happy with the whole picture, scroll down to Save at the bottom. So at this point, you're ready to copy the production to the USB. Simply go to the File pull-down, select Save Current Content. It reminds us we haven't configured any music output for channel 2, so that's fine. I'm going to select Save anyway. I'm going to choose Desktop, and I'm going to select a file name called SAM, and I'm going to call it example1. Notice that once the file appears on the desktop, the name is appended with the date and a row of zeros indicating this is not locked content. You can now copy this to your USB stick and then plug that stick directly into the device, and the production will begin. Next, I'm going to take you through the iPromo-One, which is a little bit different. So to start, you select iPromo-One. It's asking if I want to abandon the changes from the SU. Yes. And then I'm going to select Configure. Notice there's only one media channel available now. Again, the default music is available, but if you don't want it, you can simply right-click and delete it. Now, because the iPromo-One has less recording than the iProMOH-SU, I'm going to go ahead and just put one song on here. Notice this song is 2 minutes and 49 seconds long. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the mute messages to this production. Now the way the iPromo-One works is it more or less creates a script with the messages mixed on top of the music, which it will repeat. So it's important to have enough messages, including the delay between the messages, to fill out the duration of the music. So here I'm going to add another audio production. I'm going to add message number 2, and it's asking if I want to just simply use the audio that's already going to be copied to the device from the first time I use that message, and I'm going to say yes. And then I just want to make sure that my messages and the delay don't exceed my music duration. So here I have 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and my messages are 2 minutes and 48 seconds, so it appears to be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and once again click Save. And again, if I'm happy with the big picture, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and click Save. Now I'm ready to copy this to my iPromo-One device. So I'm going to say Save Current File to the file. You'll see it's doing a little bit of processing, just takes a second. And I'm going to call this one SAM Example2. And as it did with the SU, you can see it's once again appended the date and the row of zeros, and also the word one, indicating this is for an iPromo-One device. Thank you very much for listening to my video tutorial. If you have any questions, please contact us or visit us at www.interalia.com. Thank you.